Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, January 12th, 10:30 a.m. We're going to go over our updated models, updated forecast, as well as a couple other different things that we could talk about. Give me 1 second. I need to go shut off my other laptop, which my audio is playing in the background, guys. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had a laptop going, and in the background, I was hearing my voice, so I had to shut that off. Otherwise, you guys probably hear that in the background. I don't want that. I don't want double noise and stuff like that. Anyway, this is your update in regards to the winter storm, and honestly, not much has changed. We did make two minor tweaks to our forecast, which we'll go over in a minute. But first and foremost, snow has already started in the southwestern parts of the state and also parts of the UP here in Kalamazoo. We have this initial band here of snow working its way to the north. It's not very heavy yet, but it will get heavier as the day goes on. And all this clutter up here is not reaching the ground, so don't pay no attention up here. The band of snow starts right about here. If you're in West Grand Rapids, like over here towards the lakeshore, you might be getting some snowflakes as well. But for the majority of people here, the main snow band is right here in Kalamazoo, and that is pushing its way to the north this morning as expected on time. Also, parts of the UP up here are getting their first snowflakes this morning, and that is as expected. Going back to the model here, not much has changed in regards to thinking. The HRRR model is running a little bit wonky this morning, so we're not going to use that. We're going to use the NAM3 model. Now, we've been talking over the course of the past couple of days. We've been watching that shifting back and forth. Now, again, we talked yesterday. We've been watching this eastern trend, the eastern shift. That is still the case this morning. And some of these models are actually bringing higher accumulations further east into parts of, say, Lenawee, Washtenaw, Oakland counties. So we adjusted our map as needed as well. But overall, the forecast remains on track. Again, looking at the hour by hour here on the NAM3 model, we start seeing that heavy snow work into the state right on time. And that band of snow will turn very heavy this afternoon, right around the 3 to 7 p.m. time frame and points after. That's going to be a very heavy band. We're looking at 30 to 40 dBz, which is quite significant, be equivalent to that yellow and orange on like a summertime rainstorm. So quite significant snowfall here. Usually you want to see that snowfall between 20 and 30 dBz for a moderate type of snow. Once you get above 30, closer to 35, 40, that's very heavy snow. And even some of these models, the bands here of snow are quite heavy. We could be talking thunder snow in parts of the state here, particularly South Michigan. But we are seeing that potential now start to creep on some of these models that we do have some elevated instability there. And just given the strength of this system, we could be talking thunder snow in a few spots. Again, don't expect it. Don't go out searching for it. Not nothing like that. It's going to be isolated at best in nature, if at all happens at all. But it's already happening over Chicago this morning, so it's not out of the question that we're going to see thunder snow here in the state today. For those of you who want to experience that, it's a possibility, especially further south. But as the evening goes on into Friday night, we see that area of rain here in southeast Michigan. Right here, it starts creeping up just around 9 p.m. We start seeing some rain start to mix in closer to the Ohio border, Toledo areas like Lambertville, Blissfield, those areas. That area is quite limited on this model to Lenawee, Monroe, and Wayne counties. Areas above and west of that look to escape it. And then a little bit further on, closer to 10 p.m. to 11 p.m., we see that rain stretch all the way up to Macomb and Oakland counties, just barely. So overall takeaway from this, 1 to 2 hours of rain likely for southeast Michigan there in Lenawee, Monroe, Wayne, Washtenaw, Oakland, Macomb counties there, but still not as much rain as we were thinking. So we may end up seeing the higher end, not the highest total end, but a little bit higher accumulations what we were expecting versus our forecast yesterday. So updated thinking on our forecast in a second. But overall, as that low lifts off to the north and east, we are going to see those winds start to crank up. In fact, winds are already starting to pick up across the state currently as we are live streaming here. So again, as the snow starts to fall, that wind will continue to pick up into the afternoon and evening, especially peaking tonight. If we look at our wind gust potential here, I'll do that in a second. I'll just go ahead and run this through here. The low moves off to the northeast, and then we see lake effect snow on the west side, pretty much engulfing the entire state at times tomorrow during the day on Saturday. But lake effect snow will be significant for west Michigan, and the UP, potentially adding an additional 6+ inches of accumulation that we are not forecasting on our map yet. We're going to have a forecast out there hopefully by this evening, but it's going to be a busy day here, so it may have to wait till tomorrow. But those of you who live west of US 131 and in the UP, be on alert for higher lake effect accumulations tomorrow into Sunday, potentially 6 additional on top of what we're getting today and tonight, an additional 6 to 12 inches of accumulation. So some areas in Michigan may accumulate close to 2 feet of snow when all is said and done. Going through that model, this lake effect snow continues into Sunday before winds start to shift a little bit further to the north and west. And by that time, the Lions will be playing. Go Lions. Hopefully they win that game here on Sunday. But lake effect snow showers will linger into Sunday, potentially into Monday. And again, cold air comes in Saturday night, Sunday night around that time frame. Wind chills below 0 are expected with those winds. But overall, a significant system here. Blizzard-like conditions are likely across the state. Flash freeze in southeast Michigan still on the table. Now for the wind gusts, we'll go ahead and cover that. And then for the updated forecast, we'll cover that here in about a minute or two. Here's your wind gusts. Looking at the map here, we see Michigan over here. If you can't, just if you don't know where Michigan is on this map, just make a hand, hold up your right hand, and that's Michigan right over here. Watch those purples and reds. Those are the heaviest winds. They start picking up this afternoon. These are 35, 40 knot winds, which are going to equivalent to about 40 miles per hour, maybe a little bit higher. And that's going to last through the evening here as that low pressure shifts. Now, this model is kind of underdoing the winds here. I expect them to be a little higher than that. If you look on the HRRR, you're going to see much higher winds. Again, we're not using this model, the HRRR model, for initiation and kind of looking at hour by hour because it's a little bit off. But for the wind gusts, it should be pretty spot on there. We see these winds start to pick up this afternoon, and they make they're right around 35 to 45 miles an hour throughout the day here as that low passes off to the north and east. Now, in terms of our forecast, we changed 2 areas. Here is our updated forecast. It will be posted here shortly, but here is the updated thinking. We kept everything the same except for 2 areas. Number 1 being in the UP, closer to Marquette. We are expecting an area of significant accumulation, 15 to 20 inches there throughout the day today, into tonight, and into tomorrow morning. That does not include lake effect snow totals into Sunday, potentially Monday. So likely going to be seeing higher amounts up in the UP there in that one section. Again, 6 to 10 in the UP. Working our way down, we kept everything the same, 8 to 14 on the pink area there, 5 to 10 in that blue strip of zone. Now that 3 to 6 zone is where we changed things. We moved that 3 to 6 zone further east to accommodate for the model trends. Now, I don't think we're going to get 3 to 6 closer to Lake Erie and the Canadian border there. Around Metro Detroit, I'm sorry, you're probably going to be on the 1 to 3 side of that. But if you're in Lenawee, Washtenaw, and Oakland counties, you likely are going to sneak into a higher accumulation total there. Again, not going to be that 5 to 10 or 8 to 14, we don't think. But again, 3 to 6 is a little bit more what we were expecting. And some of these models, I will say, do throw out a little bit higher than 6 inches in spots. But again, our confidence on that is quite low, just given the proximity to Lake Erie and stuff like that. So we kept it simple for you. We extended about 20 miles to the east there. That's our current thinking. We don't expect much in the way of accumulation closer to the Metro Detroit area, closer to the Lake Erie and Canadian border there. And again, 5 to 10 there in the thumb, and then 5 to 10 down here for an area that we're watching in Cass and Branch counties down there as well, St. Joseph counties. And again, looking at our page this morning, we have tons of graphics out. We go back to our page. We have snow. This is this morning. Then Joel spent the entire night making these maps for you guys. We have our first blizzard warnings that are in effect for northeastern Michigan. We will likely see more as the day goes on. But again, if you are in that blizzard warning zone up there in northeast Michigan, please do not travel. Stay home. There is no reason for you to be on the roads out and about today and tonight. Please do not risk it. It is not worth your safety. And then if you go through some of these, we have the winter weather advisory that did get added in for Lenawee, for Wayne, for Macomb counties there, all the way up toward Port Huron. They are in a winter weather advisory now, as well as Shiawassee, Genesee, Tuscola, Huron, Sanilac, Lapeer, Oakland, Livingston, and Washtenaw counties. Your accumulation, according to the NWS, will be 3 to 6, isolated 7. Power outages are possible with wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Travel is strongly discouraged. And then here's your winter weather advisory for Lenawee, Monroe, Wayne, Macomb, and St. Clair. We're talking 1 to 4, according to NWS, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, power outages are possible, flash freezing is possible, travel is discouraged in everywhere in the state, basically. And we continue in here. We do have the travel outlooks for your main highways. I know we didn't get all the highways. These graphics are extremely difficult to make. They take a long time, so we can't do all the highways. It took about 4 hours for Joel to make this. We appreciate him. So shout out to Joel staying up all night getting this graphic out. But for areas here, basically what you're looking at, red is travel is strongly discouraged. The orange is a little bit dicey. The yellow is okay, be careful. And then green is good to go. The only areas that we see that could be a little bit it could be travelable, I guess, today and tonight would be the eastern part of Michigan from Romulus to Mount Clemens on 94. And then also 75 from Toledo to Detroit might be okay as well. And then we have some more graphics up on the page for the western and northern parts of Michigan there. Everything there is pretty much red, don't travel, except for US 127 between Lansing to the Indiana border, and also US 23 Flint to Ann Arbor. Just given further east, it's going to take a little bit longer, and also has a rain mixing in there. So if you're traveling on the east side of Michigan between, say, now and we'll say 3 p.m., you will likely be okay. But anywhere else, stay home. If you absolutely have to go out, please be extremely careful. But if you can, please stay home. If you have to get groceries still, get out there right now. You don't want to waste any more time. Going back here, again, the potential for thunder snow here is possible. The SPC, who issues our severe weather risks, has issued a general thunderstorm or just covering potential for potential lightning here in southeast Michigan. I think that extends a little bit further west into the Kalamazoo area as well. Some of the models do show instability over further west for this. So again, if you're in southern Michigan from, say, Grand Rapids, Flint, and south, I think there is a shot at seeing thunder snow this afternoon and evening. So pay attention if you guys want to hear that. Just keep an ear out. You might hear some. Going back here again, covering some more winter weather advisories. Jackson, Hillsdale, Branch, 3 to 6. According to NWS, this is in our forecast. This is NWS, what their advisories are for. Again, 45, 55 mile per hour wind gusts. Power outages are likely. Travel is discouraged. Go back here even further. The winter storm watch, that is old, outdated. It is now an advisory. Winter storm warnings up there in the UP there again for Gogabec, Iron, Dickinson, Delta, Schoolcraft, and Menominee counties. 40 mile per hour wind gusts, heavy snowfall, 5 to 10 inches. Travel is discouraged. Going back here even further, Chippewa, Mackinac counties looking at 45 mile per hour wind gusts, 6 to 10 inches of snow. Power outages are possible. So travel is discouraged. And then also for the northern UP, Luce, Algier, Marquette, Baraga, Houghton, and Kinawa, and also Ontonagon. I butchered that. Ontonagon. Your areas are 6 to 12, max 24 inches of snow, 55 mile per hour wind gusts. Power outages are likely. Travel is highly discouraged. Going back even further, we do have the winter storm warning for West Michigan for, I'm not going to name all those counties. It's for the entire part of Western Michigan. 8 to 14 inches of snow matches our forecast exactly. Some isolated higher amounts are possible, but honestly, when all said and done with the blowing snow and drifting, you're likely not going to be able to get an accurate measurement with this. It's going to be a mess. Okay. So your neighbor may have a foot and you may have 6 inches in your yard. That's going to be how it goes with this type of system. Just because the winds are going to blow, it's not going to be a measurable type of snow, but it's going to be a lot of snow. But 8 to 14 total inches of accumulation across most of the state and the west side is possible. And again, winter storm warning is in effect. And then also for Ingham, Eaton, Clinton, and Calhoun counties, you're likely going to have a little bit less. The advisory or the warning, winter storm warning, is 5 to 9 inches, 50 mile per hour wind gusts, multi-day power outages are possible. Travel is discouraged. And do you have any more from this? Yes, we do. Bay, Midland, and Saginaw counties. We're looking at 6 to 10 inches. Winter storm warning is in effect there. Power outages are possible. 45 mile per hour wind gust. Travel is discouraged. And then also up here in northern Michigan, the winter storm warning is still in effect there for those counties. I'm not going to list all of those. I'm probably going to butcher some of those pronunciations. But again, 8 to 13 inches of accumulation, 45 to 55 miles per hour wind gust. Multi-day outages are possible. Travel is discouraged. And again, we had that blizzard warning to the east of there. Is there any more? Iosco and Ironette counties. Looking at 6 to 10 inches, winter storm warning, 45 mile per hour wind gusts, power outages are possible, travel is discouraged. Again, this is a story across the entire state here. And again, for very far southwestern counties, Berrien, Cass, and St. Joseph, we're looking at 4 to 8 according to this. I think we're going to see a little bit more down there. I don't think it's going to be just 4 to 8. And then also heavy blowing snow, 50 mile per hour wind gusts, travel is discouraged. I believe that's everything. Yes, that's outdated. The winter storm warning for those counties are now blizzard warnings, so they've been upgraded. So that is all we have in terms of our winter storm, blizzard, and winter weather advisories for the day. I'll go back here to our forecast accumulation map here. And go from there. Again, this is not public yet. These are only out to subscribers at this point. Once I hop off there, I'll get a forecast update for you guys. But again, nothing's changing. Snow is starting to work into the state. Expect the heaviest this afternoon between, I'd say, 3 p.m. would be a good bet and onward. And again, blizzard-like conditions likely across the entire state. Winds gusting up to 55 miles per hour. And again, power outages are possible in some areas, likely across the state. Let me take a sip of water here and I'll get to the comment section. If you guys haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. We're going to be live here all day today. We're going to be rolling out updates. We have chasers going out. We have at least 10 chasers who are going to be out and about today. So if you guys are the praying type, pray for their safety. And also pray for the safety of everybody else here in the state. Send good vibes if you're not religious. It's going to be a dangerous day, but we're going to keep you covered here at MSC. We're going to be live throughout the afternoon. We'll have updates from the field. We'll have updates on radar. We're going to come hang out with us if you want to. We're going to be here, like I said, all day, probably starting around 3 p.m. It could be a bit before, a bit after, but we have it scheduled for 3 p.m. for an initial start time. We'll be live at least through probably 10 or 11 o'clock in the evening. So we're a busy day here. Updates will be on the page. You guys have content. Feel free to send it in to us. We will probably post it on the page if you give us permission. We want to keep the entire state on top of everything going on. So if you guys have important updates, pictures, videos, reports, send those in to us and we will update the page as quickly as we possibly can. So with that being said, I'm going to take a swig of water here. I'm going to get to the comment section. Again, as Chandler, if you caught our live stream last night, Chandler makes a good point here. We have over 1,000 people watching these streams. If you're going to ask specific location questions, please refer to the map before you ask that. If you don't know where you're at, that's okay. We'll still answer it. But please refer to the map before you ask how much snow we're going to get, because we are going to tell you the exact same thing that's on this map here. Yes, yes, Don, that water was very refreshing. All right, let's see here. Joe, the winds and rain, rain. The winds and snow are going to start right around, I'm going to say 12 to 1 p.m. for you guys over there, maybe a little bit later. The winds start to pick up this afternoon for you guys. Yes, Sarah, leave as early as you possibly can. This is a day that you want to get out ASAP and get back ASAP. Don't wait. The later it gets, the more you wait, the worse road conditions will be. Yes, Cody, as a first responder, says, don't drive if you have to. And that is true. We do not want to risk emergency personnel. We don't want to take up their services to other people who may need it. If you don't need to be out, please do not be out. Our chasers today are going to be staying very local to their respective home positions. They're not going to be venturing out across the state. They are going to remain local. So goes to show you, even the most experienced chasers here are going to be hunkered down. You should do the same. There's no reason to be out and about on the roads with this. Kristen, go back on our page. We actually have all of the positions respectively for our staff and our partners that we're partnered with. Those have been listed already. It was posted probably about 45 minutes ago. It's on our page. Go ahead and check that out. Likelihood of a flash freeze, I think it's likely, Tim. We're going to have a period of temperatures that are going to rise, maybe 35, 36, maybe a bit higher. And then a sudden rush of about below 30-degree temperatures are going to come in there pretty quickly within about an hour or two period. So I think the combination of brief rain there with 36-degree temperatures and all of a sudden dropping back to snow, we'll say 28, 29 degrees, it's likely going to cause flash freezing. Aaron asked if we consider the storm to be historic. Honestly, we really can't answer that until after everything has happened. I think this is going to be one of those storms we're going to remember for a while, but this is not going to be a storm that we're going to look back, 50 years and say, oh, wow, that was like the blizzard of 78. No, I don't think it's going to be like that. It's going to be one that's going to be remembered for a while, for sure. But honestly, the term historic, we really can't say that or assume that or think that until after the system is over and the effects are felt, because this may be impactful for a lot of people. Ashley, that's going to be the worst of it right there. But right around 3 p.m. for that area, I'd say is going to be the heaviest, or the heaviest is going to be starting around that time frame. So yes, if she can go earlier, uh, advise her to do that. How long will blizzard conditions last in the blizzard warning? So if we look back at the model here, I'm looking mainly at heavy snow. We'll go ahead and go hour by hour here again, go back to the precip type. Watch how much snow is here. Now, winds are going to crank pretty much the entire duration of this system. So snow starts a little bit later on, closer to 4 p.m. for you guys up there further north. But watch how long you're in snow there. This is about 4 p.m. We're going to run this through. Snow still, snow still, snow still. This is midnight. You're still in the heavy snow bands. It's going to be probably prolonged, maybe upwards of 8+ hours. We see improvements here, looking like 7 p.m. in the morning on Saturday, or 7 a.m. Sorry, 7 a.m. Saturday morning. So again, you're going to be in that area up there for a prolonged period of time. Now, remember, blizzard conditions have nothing to do with snow totals. All the blizzard criteria is 35 mile per hour wind gusts, sustained, or gusts. I believe it's approximately for 2 to 3 hours with visibility less than a quarter mile. So blizzard criteria is likely going to be met at times across the entire state today. I would expect there to be a few more blizzard warnings issued, but for right now, the only ones warning or warned right now is up in Northeast Michigan. Mary, the winds will begin picking up. I'm just south of you, and I'm looking outside my window here. The winds are actually kind of gusting right now for down here. I'm in a little town here called Britain. That the winds are going to pick up this afternoon, though. What you're seeing right now is nothing compared to what we're going to get tonight and this afternoon. But as the day goes on, expect those winds to start picking up. But as of right now, they are probably between 15 and 20 where I'm at. So Tony, people who chase with us, number one, we have staff, we have partners. We only have positions that are available on our partner network right now. And how that works is if you have experience or want to become experienced and kind of join the team, message the page. Let us know your interest. We'll probably have you take a test to get your knowledge. And if you seem knowledgeable enough, we might bring you on. Ronnie, that is a great questions for a winter storm warning versus an advisory. Now, an advisory is a low end type of alert. Advisories are just kind of saying, hey, we're going to have impactful travel conditions. We're going to have impactful weather in the area. Winter storm warning is basically you're going to get a lot of snow. The criteria and qualifications for a winter storm warning vary now across the state. It used to be a standard across the board criteria, but they recently changed it to a specific local area. So Detroit area has specific criteria. Grand Rapids has specific criteria. Marquette and Gaylord also has specific criteria as well. I'm not mentally updated with that information. Typically for warnings, though, you want to see 8+ inches in about a 12 to 24-hour period to get those winter storm warnings issued. An advisory can be issued for anything 1 to 4, which is what we're going to see here on the east side of the state. We have active advisories there. That's 1 to 4. It could be as much as 4 to 7. I know we have a 4 to 7 advisory, I believe, closer to Jackson or Hillsdale, I want to say, or maybe Branch. Those counties are in that 4 to 7 advisory. But when winter storm warnings are 8+, I believe, for the majority. But it could be different, so don't quote me on that. It's different per area. No, Christy, it is not going to be done. You're likely going to have delays there at DTW flying out. Yes, Brittany, the times yesterday that we posted are still accurate. We did see a few areas. In fact, go back to the radar here. We predicted 10 a.m. for the first snowflakes. We started having snowflakes right around 9:30. So just a bit ahead of schedule with this, but I think the majority of that other areas here are still on track here. Again, the initial snow band is right here just north of Kalamazoo. So that's working its way northeast as the day, goes on. And going back even further to the east here or to the west, the heaviest snow. This is what's coming our way, and we're watching that low pressure down here in Illinois area. I'm not sure exactly where it's at. I guess probably right here, so I could be wrong on that, but that's working its way up. Yeah, it's right about here, working its way up. So we still got a long way to go. We're just getting started here. The worst of it is still going to be coming. Emily, the lake effect depends on the positioning and also the strength of winds. It's not uncommon to see lake effect bands continue across the entire state. In fact, we had a lake effect, what was it called? A snow squall warning from lake effect snow back in, I want to say December or November for Metro Detroit area. That lake effect line came all the way from Kalamazoo all the way over to Detroit there, and they ended up having to issue a winter or a snow squall warning for Detroit Metro. So it can travel across the entire state, but for areas that are more prone to seeing it, we have areas. I'll go ahead and draw you on the map here. Areas west of US 131, which typically is right along this area. There's an area up here as well that gets lake effect snow with this lake here blowing winds south, or yeah, south and east, and also the UP here. This area up here gets lake effect a lot as well. Again, winds are going to pick up as the day goes on, guys. I see a lot of questions for the winds. Expect those to pick up in intensity if they're not already as we get closer to that 3 p.m. time frame. And especially, I think they're going to peak later tonight, closer to sunset. So it's going to gradually increase. But the winds, I mean, honestly, I'm probably getting, I had the weather station out here. I can't read it right now. I'm guessing right between 10 and 15, 10 to 20 right now here where I'm at. And the clouds here are cranking to the east. So there's definitely good winds here. I'm sorry, guys. I am way behind on comments again. I'm not going to get to everybody's here. There's 650 people here in chat. So if I'm missing your question, I apologize. So just want to make sure I'm getting most of the important questions answered here. At what point? Good question here, Ashley. So Southeast Michigan, likely going to see a flash freeze later tonight, closer to 10 p.m., towards the midnight time frame. That was going to be when the temperatures start to drop. I'm going to guess probably a little bit after 11 p.m. midnight, you're going to have that flash freeze. So luckily, most people will be off the roads, but there's still going to be select people who are on the road. So still dangerous. Yes, lake effect snow is, I'm thinking more so maybe 5 to 10, 6 to 12 again for some areas. Uh, Not going to get specific just yet, but I'm seeing some of these the model data, and also some other um, data coming in. I'm just thinking we're going to have more significant lake effect than 2 to 8. A general 2 to 8 would be good, but I think we're going to have areas of a lot higher than that. Allegan County as well as Kalamazoo is pretty much cemented in the 8 to 14 zone there, Lauren. Corey, what times are you thinking, or what times are we thinking will be tough to be out on the roads for traveling for Grand Rapids? Anywhere after 1 p.m. for you guys. Snow's going to really start picking up here as we get into early afternoon. At that point, I'm going to say get off the roads if you can. Hi, Nick. Aaron, this is borderline. I know we talked a few days ago about this. Currently, that low does look to be borderline bomb cyclone, whereas a bomb cyclone is the pressure, the strength of the low pressure dropping 24 millibars in 24 hours. It's going to be borderline bomb cyclone. So it could go either way, but still, either way, bomb cyclone or not, the impacts are still equivalent. It doesn't really matter if it drops 24 millibars. It's still a strong low pressure. What's up, Tabby from Britain? You are my neighbor. I'm also here in Britain. Yes, Mike, thunder snow is being reported in Chicago, and it's not going to be uncommon if we get a few strikes here in the Michigan, especially South Michigan, especially early into mid to late afternoon into early evening. Battle Creek, possibly with the strength of the winds. Kylie, I believe that Battle Creek will likely see snow after this system with lake effect there. Power outages are possible, borderline likely across the state, especially in areas that have the blizzard warnings up there northeast. Heavy snow falling with heavy winds is going to be a situation, a prime situation for power outages. So definitely a possibility, and even some areas I'd say likely. Houghton Lake, you're going to have snow right around, I'm going to guess between 2 and 4 p.m. for you guys, and it's going to get heavier as it progresses later in the evening. Battle Creek has issued a snow emergency starting at 3 p.m. I am not surprised. We're going to have a lot of snow to clear. So definitely be on the lookout for local and emergency management. They will issue anything. If you guys need to get your cars off the roads for plows, that'll come from them. But go ahead, and if I were in your shoes, I'd go ahead. If you park your cars in the street and if you don't have to, get those off the street. So help plows out tremendously. Harley, at this point, since we're in the day of, any further shifting will be play by ear. We kind of have to kind of watch the real time temperatures and the track. I think this track is pretty much set, but I think what we're going to be watching here is more so temperatures on the surface, especially there in southeast Michigan. It's going to be borderline around freezing. So 1 degree can make all the difference. We'll be watching that closely. And again, we'll be live here throughout the day. So we're going to have updates for you guys to come back and check in, ask your questions. We'll be here for you all day. But I think at this point, it's going to be a real time analysis type of event and not model looking. That's a possibility, Anna. Again, I'm not really sure on the criteria for that. Um, hold on, I'm getting a message here. Okay. Yes. I'm not sure the criteria for that. The governor will issue it. It's possible in some areas, so we'll have to kind of wait and see on that. Good question here, Miranda. Looking at the wind direction here, it's going to start out like right now. It's coming probably from the southeast to east. As the day goes on, they'll progress more easterly, and as we get into tonight, it'll progress more northeasterly, and then as we get into the overnight hours, it'll progress more northwesterly. We see that wind direction change multiple times here across the state. So it's going to start east southeast. It's going to end northwest. So it turns counterclockwise. Jordan, this is a winter storm. Tornadoes do not happen in winter storms. I do not believe there are any watches in the state. I believe everything is an advisory or warnings now. I think pretty much the entire state is under some type of advisory or warning at this point in time. I don't think there's one county in Michigan that's not. If I'm mistaken by that, if you guys are living in counties that do not have anything issued, let me know. But I'm pretty sure, double check here really quickly on my phone, but I'm pretty sure every single county in the state is under some type of advisory. And that is true. There is not one county in Michigan that does not have an advisory or a warning at this point. Laura, it's going to be, like I said before, it's going to come down to real time analysis. We're going to be watching surface temperatures very closely, live reports. Again, the rain snow line going back here to that forecast is probably going to be right around that 1 to 3, 3 to 6 zone there. Take your comment off the screen. People can see this down here in the 1 to 3. And then again, we could see if we have a degree less than expected, the 3 to 6 could turn to 4 to 7 pretty easily. The 1 to 3 could turn to 2 to 4. It's going to be a live look analysis type of day. We can't rely on models anymore. We are at the event. Models are just giving us the idea. What's going to come down to is what temperatures are doing on the surface. We're going to be watching that, and if anything does change significantly, we will post. But right now, this is what we're going to have. I think that rain snow line is going to be right around that 1 to 3 to 3 to 6 zone there. Melissa, I am not familiar with the airport cancellations just yet. I have not looked. I'm likely going to see, or we're likely going to see a lot of cancellations later on today. Again, I'm falling behind on comments here, guys. So I'm going to have to skip some. So I apologize. Not going to get to everybody's comment here. I'm just looking at some of these comments that are rolling in. So if you guys haven't had your question answered and you want to see if I can get an answer, go ahead and keep asking it. Feel free to continue asking it here. I'm going to miss a lot of these. And I'm also skipping over questions. If I've already answered a similar question, I'm not going to answer it twice just to save some time. How's Adrian going to do? Right now, 3 to 6. But again, that area, if you're in that light blue and medium blue, 3 to 6, 1 to 3 zones, these accumulations could change either way. Again, looking at surface temperatures and real time data, it could shift, or we could have a surprise all snow type of event. Again, these models are trending cooler and they're also trending more east. So anything's on the table. It's going to be a watch and wait type of situation there. But right now, we're kind of thinking there's going to be rain mixing in there. News just showed Chicago has 700 flights canceled. Not surprised. How is snowfall so far? Right now, the only snowfall in the state is in the UP and Southwest Michigan here. Again, this stuff up here is pretty much clutter. You're not going to see that on the ground, reaching the ground. But this stuff over here, I'm going to circle. Oopsies. Pause it here. This area and further south is reaching the ground. So if you're south of Kalamazoo there, south of Battle Creek, you're likely seeing some snow showers. Yes, Leah. The radar does show snow in some areas that are not reaching the ground. That's because two reasons. One, there is a dry column of air that the snow has to saturate before it reaches the ground. So a lot of times you're going to see snow on radar that doesn't reach the ground. That's common. It's expected. And also a secondary reason is because the radar beam, if you think of Earth, the Earth is rounded. Radar beams that shoot up and equal to the ground as the Earth curves, the radar beam goes higher into the sky, so it doesn't really reach the ground as you get further away from the radar. So areas that are further away from the radar may be showing up as snow, but actually it's snowing in the upper mid levels, but on the low levels they're not reaching just yet. All right, guys. Again, if you haven't hit that like button, we would appreciate if you did. It helps us in the algorithm and make sure more people can see this and stay prepared for this storm. We have broke our personal record here at MSC last night. We had 1,200 people like the stream, which is a complete record for us. So thank you to everybody who was a part of that stream. That was a MSC historic stream. Coldwater, you're going to be pretty much in the 5 to 10 zone there. Again, snow will begin across the state now through the afternoon. Heaviest will be this afternoon and the evening in the overnight hours. But Coldwater, 5 to 10 is a good guess for you guys. Northern Lapeer is on that 5 to 10 zone, but right now we have you designated in that 3 to 6 zone for right now. Appreciate it. If you guys have not already on YouTube, if you want updates, subscribe to our YouTube. We do have a YouTube page as well. We're not as active on there as we are on Facebook, but we do have live streams all the time stream there. What you see on Facebook is also what you see on YouTube. So if you guys don't want to, take up your YouTube watching this live stream, but you still want to watch us, throw YouTube up. You can still scroll on Facebook while watching us on YouTube as well. So there's a couple ways you can watch us. We also stream live now to Twitter/X. So if you guys are on Twitter, we also stream there as well. And everything you see is the same across every platform. What you're seeing here on Facebook, YouTube, or X is what you're seeing on the other platforms. Unfortunately, I cannot pin the link in chat here. But if you just go to YouTube and search Michigan Storm Chasers, it should be the page that pops up first. We have roughly about 2,500 subscribers. And logo, the profile picture is our logo. Wind is getting stronger. I'm seeing a lot of those comments. I see Muskegon getting stronger. I see Ithaca getting stronger. So no snow yet, Saginaw. Yeah, give it a few more hours there. Road conditions will deteriorate starting early afternoon, 2, 3 p.m. I'm going to say, give or take an hour or two. Frozen pipes are not going to be a concern with this particular first batch of the storm, the cold Arctic air starts filling in Saturday afternoon and evening into Sunday, especially. Likely Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night are going to be below zero wind chills. So the early part of next week is going to be the period that you might want to drip your faucets for that. You're going to have likely single digit lows, teens for the highs, and then below zero for wind chills. Again, snow is working its way northeast right now. Again, this initial band here is pushing to the north here. So areas, let me draw this more accurately here. Let me go ahead and check this really quickly. Nothing there. Okay. So we do have snow falling. Do we have MPing on here? Let's see if I turn on MPing for you guys. There we go. There is your live reports of snow. So it's snowing, according to this map, from Grand Rapids all the way south to Kalamazoo. So this area right here is seeing your first flakes of the day. As expected, Southwest Michigan will see it first. It'll work its way northeast throughout the day. So if you're like in Lansing, Flint, Saginaw, Muskegon, points north, expect that in the next few hours here. Again, we do have a timing map that was posted yesterday on our page. Go check that out. It still holds pretty accurate throughout the day here. Sun is out in Romulus. That is shocking. I see clouds I'm just south of you here. I don't see any sun. I do see a bunch of clouds though. No, the model trends to the east do not indicate less snow for the west side of Michigan. That is not the case. The only thing the east shift is going to be meaningful for would be the southeast part where we're expecting that 3 to 6, 1 to 3 zone. Those areas could still shift. And again, a degree or two difference could mean the difference between a 3 to 6 area getting 1 to 2 inches or the 3 to 6 area getting 4 to 8 inches. So it could go either way today. We're going to be on here all day streaming. If anything does change, you're going to hear it in real time. Again, these meteorologists that you're seeing across the state, we're kind of crunching data, but when we get into the day of an event, live data is more important than model data. Well, I can't stress that enough. And that goes for summertime too, for thunderstorms, tornadoes, stuff like that. When you look at live data, it's real, it's physical data. When you look at models, it's just an idea of it. I do want to show you guys this I can for you guys in Southeast Michigan. I'm seeing a lot of comments here regarding Southeast Michigan. Now, I'm not going to say this snowfall map is accurate, but I will show you the trend here. We're going to go ahead and look at our total snowfall accumulation according to these models. Now, these models do run a tad bit warm, meaning that we may have areas that see less snow than what we're expecting. That's normal. But what I'm trying to point out here is Southeast Michigan here. This particular model here has this area of 3 to 6 inches overlapping the entire portion here of Southeast Michigan early on before this turns to rain. Again, we see that idea here on another short-term model, the HRRR. I was at least on the 12Z run this morning, did show that exact same solution here. We go ahead and run this through. We see this area still of the 3 to 6 zone again, a little bit further east there, but still the exact same idea that we could be seeing some higher accumulations over here in southeastern Michigan later this afternoon and evening into tonight before it turns to rain. So we could have a situation where 7, 8 inches may fall in spots in that 3 to 6 inch zone, but when it rains, that will likely be cut down a little bit, but not significantly. So we may end up with still 3 to 6 inches in that zone. And again, any further east shifts or a degree lower in temperatures, if a 33-degree temperature turns to 32, 31, that's a difference between a mix and difference between snow. So we have to kind of watch that area closely. But these models, just giving you the idea here, these models are picking on a little bit colder solution, a little bit further east track of a snow swath there through southeast Michigan. So it's something to keep an eye on. Not a forecast just yet, but that trend is still looking a little bit colder. Winds are starting to pick up in Roscommon. Yep, as the day goes on, that low pressure, if we look at our, let me go ahead and pull up something here for live data. We use a site called Mesoanalysis. The mesoscale is basically just saying things that are on the surface that aren't particularly wide scale, I guess. If we look on our surface, we see the center low pressure down here. This is your center down here in Illinois, where I'm circling with my mouse. That low is going to move off a little bit east and a little bit further north there. As that does, these winds are going to shift more easterly. And as that works its way through, they'll shift more northeasterly to northwesterly. So again, watching our surface temperatures closely, we can look at it right here as well. Surface observations, we have 35 degrees across the eastern part of the state, 31, 32 across the western. Kalamazoo right now, 32, 34, 33. So again, cold enough for snow, but these will likely continue to drop through the day. And again, Southeast Michigan looking to keep those. If you want snow in Southeast Michigan, looking to keep that 35 a little bit closer down to 32 for the more snow here. So we're gonna watch this map throughout the day here and just kind of see how it trends. But overall, we're on track. Nothing too significant is changing with this. Chicago still getting thunder snow, Julie? Where is the snow right now? The snow again is in Southwest Michigan. All right, or pause it and circle. You see these reports here. I'm going to circle down Grand Rapids all the way south to Kalamazoo. These are right now your current snowfall reports. Again, if you guys would like to contribute to this map, the app is called MPing. You can download it on your phone, submit reports there, and it'll show up on our map here. It's pretty cool. So, for example, I zoom in here to Kalamazoo. There's a report between Augusta and Galesburg. I click it. It'll say snow and or graupel. Usually means snow. The category is combined with snow graupel, but it still remains the same. Snow is falling. This is as of 10:38 a.m. today. And if we go down here to Kalamazoo Portage area, we have another emptying report here at 10:29 of snow. So if you guys want to contribute to this map, download the app. It's called MPing. The NWS also sees this map as well, so they will likely adjust their forecast as needed as well. It's a really good tool for forecasters to use in real time, and it helps us out. Great example right now, we're seeing these snow bands up here in Flint, Lansing, Novi, but notice there's no reports over there. That's not reaching the ground at all. What is reaching the ground is right here. We're getting those multiple snow reports here in Southwest Michigan. So again, MPing is the app, the letter M, and then ping like you're pinging a phone, P-I-N-G. And if you guys want to download that, and you guys can send us reports, and these reports will also go to the National Weather Service as well. I'll go ahead and leave the app name in the comment section. You should be seeing that there. It's called M, the letter M, and then ping. Hello from NWS DTX. Are you messing with me, Freedom? Or are you an employee there? I didn't know if you're an employee there, I didn't know. Okay. I was going to say, I didn't know. I see you on our live streams a lot, but I didn't know you're an employee there. So, okay. Again, guys, we're going to be on here about 10 more minutes or so. We're going to hop off. I'm going to take a break, get my electronics charged, because I do plan to go out a little bit later tonight in Southeast Michigan when that flash freeze occurs, and hopefully stream it for you guys. But again, I really don't know how the day's going to go. I'll most likely be on here all afternoon streaming with Joel's going to be on here. I believe we're going to have Chandler in and out. We're going to have a few partners. So we're going to have Drew, Ben. They're going to be out and about. So we're going to have coverage here and content posted to the page all throughout the day today. But again, I'm going to hop off here in about 10 more minutes or so and go from there. Laura, MPing is a app that allows you to send reports out for everybody in the state. It goes to us here on RadarScope, our radar app called RadarScope. It also goes to Joel's Radar GR2, which is what he uses. It goes to a variety of different places. It goes to NWS as well. It's real-time live reports that you can click. For example, I don't know if I have this turned on or not. Let me see if I can do this here real quick. Nope. Okay. But if I were to tap on my location, which is down here in southeastern Michigan, I would have an option here to right click and submit report. And that would submit your report. It could be rain, it could be snow, it could be sleet, freezing rain. You can do that on this app, and that will show up here on our map, just like these little dots over here in Kalamazoo. It says snow, snow, snow. That's live reports in real time that help us know where snow is falling, where snow isn't falling, or where rain is falling, where rain isn't falling. So it's useful to not only us, but also to the professionals who actually make these forecasts as well. You guys don't have to download it. Don't feel obligated. But if you guys want to contribute, it is there for your usage. Hello from Belleville. Hello, Jackie. Right now, we are planning to go live around 3 p.m. Now, we might go on before that, or we could go on a little bit after that. But right around 3 p.m., we expect to start the stream up. That should be about the time we start seeing heavier snow bands work their way into the state. So again, I don't want to say specific, but we do have that scheduled for 3 p.m. But don't be shocked if that's a little bit earlier or later, depending on how these snow bands set up and where our chasers are at, so on and so forth. If I go back, I can. Give me a second. Somebody's asking for the timing map. Let me go ahead and pull this back up here for you guys. We posted it yesterday. There you go. There's your current timing map there, 10 to 12 p.m. This is real time. Snow is falling in that section just as we predicted. Pretty accurate, honestly. 11 to 1 p.m. in that yellow section, 1 to 3 in the red, 2 to 4 in the pink. And then up in the UP, we're already seeing snowfall across southern parts of the UP. So again, right on schedule as forecasted here. It looks like it's going to be pretty much in line with what we're thinking. So uh, if we actually look at our live radar comparison to this green zone here, that's pretty much where the snow is falling. If we drew a line here about Holland down towards that area, that is about that 10 to 12 p.m. zone. So that's really accurate. Not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but that's a pretty accurate map here. So I'll leave that up for a few minutes or a few seconds, should I say? And I'll hop off here in about 7 or 8 minutes. All righty, here. We're looking at some new messages that are coming in. Not snowing currently near Sault Ste. Marie. Okay. Let's go check our radar up there real quick. We do have a snow report just to your south there towards Alpena. Yeah, your heaviest band is going to be right here. Likely going to have areas reaching the ground. But again, that's working its way north, so expect that next hour or so for you guys up there in Sault Ste. Marie. All righty. Brittany, that's going to be likely going to happen on Saturday afternoon, evening into Sunday. It's possible. In fact, I think that's likely it's going to happen on the east side. But again, the main accumulations are going to be tied back to the west side of the state. The east side will probably get a few inches of accumulation, but nothing too significant. All righty. I'm about to wrap this up here. Again, snow is going to start for the majority of the state throughout the early afternoon, getting heavier as that heavier band works its way from the southwest to the northeast. I'm getting a lot of messages here in chat here. I want to check this out. All right. And again, we are going to be having updates throughout the day. So if anything does change in terms of accumulation, especially in that southeast zone, we will likely update you on the page immediately. And we'll be live again throughout the day, just looking at data and stuff like that. So power outages are possible, Kristen, across the state. All righty. I'm going to wrap this up here, guys. And we'll be back on here probably closer to 3 p.m., like I said. We'll be on here probably from 3 until we get kicked off. Facebook has a timer, an 8-hour timer on it. So after 8 hours, they'll kick us off, but we'll come right back on if we need to. But between that 3 and 11 p.m. time frame, we should be actively streaming field updates, radar, overall thinking consensus as it happens. So if you guys want to, feel free to pop a bag of popcorn, grab a snack, grab a drink, sit down, enjoy the stream. We'll have some fun with it. We'll keep you guys updated and safe. But I'm going to hop off here, grab some lunch, get myself ready, get my electronics charged, and be ready for this. So again, snow begins this afternoon. Heavier snow closer to that 3 p.m. time frame. Again, if you don't have to travel, please do not travel. If you have to travel, get out there now. Do not wait until this afternoon. It is now or never for you because we're going to have blowing snow, drifting snow. It's going to be a mess this afternoon and this evening across the entire state as well into Saturday morning. So again, I'm going to hop off here, guys. We'll be back here later on this today. So watch that stream. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button on your way out, and I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Thank you, guys.